What's going on, YouTube? Zach is back once again, bringing you another Pokemon Unite replay commentary. This time featuring a Pokemon I have yet to feature on the channel, and that is, drumroll please, a Lapras. It's a very fun defender, and I ended up choosing it this game because the enemy team picked 3 defenders, and I sort of considered Lapras the anti-defender. My reason for thinking that way is because Lapras' AoE moves are really good against multiple really slow, heavy targets, making them even slower and heavier. And Whirlpool is really good against areas of effect, which is what multiple defenders usually ends up being. It's just big fights between lots of people mashing into each other, right? Like Kaijus. So Lapras can sort of get the edge on them with the Whirlpool there. And we will see that in this video. But before that, I just want to remind you to leave a like if you liked the video. Comment something if you feel like it, and subscribe for more stuff like this in the future. I really appreciate y'all. Anyway, our laning partner in this game is Zoroark, which is definitely not an ideal laning partner. But Lapras being both a ranged Pokemon and a very tanky Pokemon means that he'll at least have the support he needs to get the levels he desperately needs early on. They ended up putting the double defender lane bottom, which I was very happy with. As we'll see, especially since they both need to evolve. Lapras is going to run the lane for a while. Yes, they're getting some damage on us, but they really can't do much against my guy as long as he can get away. And if they're fighting us on our pad, they're really exchanging unfavorably like that. That said, I still have a Zoroark as my lane partner, so the amount that we can actually do to threaten the enemy is still limited somewhat. Oh, by the way, this is another Groudon game. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but this is another Groudon game that I had recorded from a while back. A while back being like a month ago. Anyway, the mid ganks from both mids end up resulting in both of our deaths and them sort of living. The reason for that, I think, is double defender plus scissor means they have a lot of physical bulk, and all of our damage between the Dragonair and the Zoroark is physical. So we have a really hard time punching through them in games like this. I'm really done only special damage, and so I'm the only way to deal with scissor more effectively. Yeah, we can see, like, even with me here, it's just not going the way it needs to because of the level lead they have. Scissor's definitely a much stronger jungler to gank with than Dragonair is at this stage. But Dragonair comes online later as Dragonite, ideally, so... still results in me getting the KO there, thankfully. With Water Pulse, my goal now is just to constantly be proccing Water Pulse off these guys since they're very easy to proc off of and very good to proc off of. You can see the multiple hits really being annoying for them, and the area of effect of the move makes it so you can very easily get multiple people hit of the move very often. Like I said, this is just what happens in double defender games. It's a lot of, or triple defender games rather, it's a lot of fighting, and a lot of man fighting, and a lot of people beating each other up. Here I backed off a little too far when I could have killed the Mamoswine, unfortunately. So he does get to live there, and Scissor comes back down, which will quickly result in my demise, I believe. Because even though Lapras is tanky against their 2 defenders, Scissor brings enough damage with Bullet Punch to easily punch through Lapras. And Zoroark, though he has evolved at this point, is still not really going to cut it against their defensive lineup. Multiple defenders is sort of poison for speedsters. So it's a tough game in general for Zoroark. But he didn't pick into them, they picked into him, so it's sort of what you get sometimes. With the Dragonite on Hyper Beam, my goal is just to provide him targets in ample range and keep them away from him as much as possible. Basically just doing what Lapras does well as a defender. Since Lapras has no mobility moves as a defender, she's often relying on her teammates to catch people for her, or just her innate presence in fights to be enough to get Ice Beams and Water Pulses off on people in range. It doesn't always work out that way. But here I decided that I want to just knock out the pad because we're fighting them on it and it makes it a bad fight for us. I'd rather just fight not on the pad. Dragonite's looking in trouble here, so I decided to ult. Wrap around, bring it in for the Machamp, and get him picked off nicely. Once again, Zoroark is going to really struggle to get anything done, unfortunately. He did his best, but their lineup is just really good against Zoroark. Yeah, and with the other defender here, even though we got the Mamoswine, it just means that I'm getting stunned and pummeled to death. When you are playing into multiple defenders as a solo defender on your team, you really have to be aware of the fact that they can control you a lot better than you can control them. So even though Lapras' AoE damage is good in all the ways I've been saying, and Lapras is very good against multiple defenders, still I think that you have to be careful with just how much they can stun you and slow you and pull you around away from your team. Here I decided to come top, deciding that bottom is probably fine without me at this stage. I want to make sure we get these birds on our side, and I also want to defend against anyone trying to score top. They mostly look at their bottom, but still I'm going to get the birds while I'm here, get my ult, and then use that to get bottom. Or not. There's still birds mid as well. In retrospect, I think I should have ulted in there. I kind of would have probably been a lot of help for them there. But then again, getting those things mid means that I'm almost level 11 going into 5 minute. So we have really good levels on our team, in addition to our huge lead. With Snorlax as low as he is, I decided to ult to make sure we can finish him off. Crash into their backline a little bit there. And yeah, we're doing a good job of keeping our advantage right now. We're keeping them locked on levels. They have multiple level 8 Pokemon. We have multiple level 11 Pokemon. It's sort of what you want to be doing in this sort of game state. Immediately seeing the next objective is top, I decide to head straight there. As a defender, you generally want to get there before your teammates or with your teammates because you're the one checking bushes, you're the one blind checking things, you're the one that needs to be the front line to establish the line of scrimmage for the objective to even be an option. Indeed, here it is an option, so my job is just to give vision. If there's anything our team has, it's a lot of burst damage with the Zoroark. He might be bad against all their defenders, but he's good for getting objectives. Here, with all the points that we're carrying, I want to push aggressively, especially seeing that someone's scoring on our side bottom. So I'm just running in and trying to create chaos as quickly as possible. The chaos does allow us to pick up from the champ. But our Zoroark's going to fall as well. And Scissor's now doing what Scissor does. Scissor's pushing back into us, and he's getting to our back line. But they're double Lotties, so they should be better off. Ooh, the ult there is going to wreck them. I forgot that's how that went. However, that being the case, I do see that he's dead, and the Lucky went in. So I decided to sacrifice what's left of that for the sake of getting the gold pad knocked out. And here I'm just trying to help him escape, but unfortunately he's not able to. So now that I'm stuck over here, my goal is just to, again, wreak as much havoc as possible and KO anyone who lets me. Like this Machamp. See, now it's a trade for us, but also I'm wasting all of these people's time. And really, that's a huge advantage when you think about it. The time you spend on the map is so meaningful in this game. So if 3 people are spending our time here, and only 1 from our side, it means that we have more people to do things elsewhere on the map. You can sort of think of it like chess, where if you have a lot of pawns and your enemy doesn't have very many pawns in an area, then you can do a lot more in that area. If you put all your pawns in one place, though, like what these guys did on the enemy team, then your side can farm or do whatever else you need to do. Now, you know I don't like spoiling the outcome, but if the enemy team is able to make a comeback here, it's on the back of Groudon. So our goal here is to make sure they can't do that. We're playing defensively, and that for me means staying on our side and waiting for them to make the first move since they're behind. This is the luxury you get when you are playing from ahead. Alright, we're going to push up just a little bit. Check some bushes. The champ is running around like a crazy person trying to find someone to grab. And the defender squad is visible now. The fight has truly begun. However, they're starting to pick off our squishies, and we're sort of spread out and the fight's not going the way it needs to. My goal here is trying to play between people to get us unified as a team and get us fighting together again. And if we can keep these guys busy for the Zoroark, that's good, but unfortunately the Zoroark falls as well. It is not a good situation. And again, that our only special damage, the Latios, got knocked out really early on. It meant that we had no good answer to them, to their mid. Scissor has really high physical defense for those that did not know, so you usually want to answer him with special Pokemon. But our only special Pokemon are the Eon Duo and me, so... And I obviously not enough damage. And look at that! They actually did get the Groudon, the one way to make the comeback, as I said, and they got it. They had a really good team fight before that. The Scissor played well. The defenders did a good job of splitting our team up. And that's what you want to do when you're behind. Split the enemy team up, isolate them, and pick them off. You're never going to take... if you're behind on levels, you're never going to win 5v5 if the teams are even. So you want to make it not a 5v5. And that's what they did really great there with their 3 defenders. They basically made it into 3 fights, and our team split up way too much, and we couldn't do anything. Yep, and now we're not able to score, not able to knock anyone out. Only 4 points, but that's not nearly enough. The enemy team played well here to get their comeback. They actually made their defender comp work. I didn't think it would for a while, and we were ahead until the end of the game, so it didn't look like it was going to. But it ended up being the best play for them. Even so, I'm sure you saw how Lapras is very good against comps like that, and why I consider Lapras the anti-defender. I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you enjoyed watching with me. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. Let's look at these numbers. Holy crap, a lot of damage, but we just farmed off of their defenders. That's what it boiled down to. And our team played well, we just sort of botched the end game, unfortunately. But anyway, that will be it for now, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and that's all I got for you today. Peace out, y'all.